Welcome guys, how's it going? We're gonna wait a few more minutes, like always, for people to trickle in, and then we can start. Let's see if we can get Martin Cook from Cairo Chess as well. I see Amitel is already here, that's very nice. Let's wait like 1 more minute or 2 more minutes, and then we can begin. Okay, so I'd say we can start. Welcome everybody. It's nice that you tuned in. This is our weekly developer call where we will hear some updates, where we will talk about progress in the different working groups and talk about people with new projects. And I'm very excited today because we have two new projects on Matchbox that we are going to help mentor, and those two projects are O-Game by Amitel, and we have Cairo Chess by Martin Krug. And I'm super excited because I used to play O-Game back in the past when that was a thing, and it was super fun, super exciting, and pretty addicting. So I'm really looking forward to hear how it's going to be implemented on StarkNet, and maybe what the challenges are, what the progress is like, how the crypto monetization stuff plays into it, that kind of stuff. And I don't think Martin is here yet, so I think we should probably start with O-Game and Amitel. And Amitel, you can request to speak, and I will move you on the stage, and then you can present. I've sent you an invite. You just have to accept it, and then you can come on stage and talk. Yep, I think that worked. You just have to unmute yourself now.
Is the audio okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Hi, hello everybody. Sorry, I just came back home from a busy day and I'm still on the stairs. Anyway, so basically, O-Game is a browser-based space war theme game, which was very popular in the early 2000s, as Wag said already. And since then, it lost a bit of interest for a couple of reasons, I think, because the user interface is very old still now, and also the company that runs it started to insert some pay to progress options. So basically, if you don't spend money, you're not competitive, basically. And because I started to play it again a couple of years ago, and I was very disappointed when I saw the option to be able to write it back in Cairo, and I just started doing it. And at this moment, there's a roadmap on the GitHub page and we are one step away to finish the first iteration, which will bring basically the ability to the player to have a planet, which will be an NFT, a unique NFT, and will give the player the ability to develop the mines, which are basically the structures which allow you to gain resources. The resources will be ERC20 tokens, so they will be exchangeable and possibly in a open book fashion and in a marketplace. Also, obviously, all the time someone puts in the game will be a gain in value for the NFT. Because it will be growing mines, and so the production of tokens will be higher. And so yeah, we'll have to create a front end soon with a Matchbox team, and hopefully it will be a nicer user interface than the current Web2 game. And as for challenges, I think the biggest challenge at the moment will be to see how the storage would be, how expensive would be the storage on Starknet, and because the game is basically based on not much computation but a lot of writings. So one possible option I was thinking about it was to pack big structs into one felt. So, for example, most of my structs are composed by 8-bit members, which could be packed in one single felt. So you could have 30 something members in one felt. And I think this is an option of packing bits that someone else is working on already. I'm not sure who, but it should be ready in a couple of weeks, apparently. And yeah, this is the point where we are at now.
Awesome, thank you. So I have like two things that came to mind. I think today's Darknet Alpha 080 dropped on mainnet, so the fee mechanism should be live now. So I don't know how it plays into the
Yeah, if I read correctly, the fees are only for computation at the moment and not for writes. So we can still figure out how it will be for the computation, but I think for the write part, this is not possible yet. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, I see. I just wanted to mention it because I saw it today and I was excited about it. And I think lots of devs will be very busy testing out the fee mechanism in the coming days. And the second thing is you mentioned that in the original O game they basically implemented a paywall, so you had to pay to progress. Now I'm thinking about when you say that resources are going to be like ERC20s. And I assume it's going to be tradable, right, on marketplaces. Have you thought about how it might impact the game if people like can just buy up all the resources on a marketplace? Is it something you thought about already, or am I like too deep already into it and you're just busy basically implementing like a first iteration right now?
I think that's a deeper thought that I didn't touch yet. Yeah, I'm too deep into the weeds of developing at the moment to make it work. So that's definitely something to think about, obviously.
Sure, yeah. I'm not a developer, so I can't speak too much on the dev side, but that's something that popped into my mind as like a player, and like I said, I played the old game, so that's just something that came to mind to me personally. But yeah, I'm sure there will be lots of stuff that you can try and experiment and figure out.
Yeah, I guess even if that would happen, it would turn the game into play to earn. So at least the gains, the money that someone makes from the resources, from the sold resources, is own money, right? It's not money that going into a company. So it will probably turn into a play to earn game, I guess.
Right, so it's going to be play to earn.
Uh, that's a possibility.
Okay,
I didn't think about that yet, but yeah.
okay, sure, no problem. Yeah, I think play to earn is going to be like a massive theme, like it already is, right? This kind of GameFi and gamified DeFi, like you can probably do a lot with that kind of stuff, especially if you include like resources and different planets and I think you said like planets will be NFTs and you can own them and potentially probably trade them as well. So I think it's going to be super interesting. And yeah, there's going to be lots of ways to like design the game around that concept.
Yeah, absolutely. One more thing I want to say is that because every NFT ID will be linked with the ID in the on-chain game in the storage. So if you grow your planet, your NFT grows in value as well.
That's really interesting. I didn't think about that yet.
So yeah, that's also another angle to
Are there
consider.
any other like interesting tidbits you've got maybe already figured out that people might not know yet? Like any kind of interesting mechanics or how NFTs tie into the gameplay?
Also, I was also thinking to implement ERC 1155 for the fleets, which are composed of different ships, and so that's something that I was thinking about which I didn't try to implement yet, but that's also an option.
That's awesome. So you can have like composable fleets with like where you can like input different ships and then you have the fleet as an NFT composed by different ships. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
That's really cool. I like that. Yeah. Anything else you want to mention? Like, I think you said you need like maybe some front end help.
Yes. Yes. We were yeah, we are putting together something with the Matchbox team. So we will have a call on Friday, and we'll have some update.
Okay, awesome. Look, I'm definitely looking forward. This is probably the project I'm looking forward to most to just see it launch, even in just like a proof of concept first iteration. But I'm super excited about it because it's just such a hit of nostalgia. It's really cool.
I like that. I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for introducing us to OGame. That was great. And now I think we can move on to Cairo Chess. I think Martin is here. Okay, I got you. Hey Martin, can you introduce us to Cairo Chess and talk about it? You're on stage, you just have to unmute yourself and then it should all be good.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Sorry, I'm not very used to Discord, so
no problem.
maybe a little bit clumsy. Yeah, I was listening to the previous, explanation of the game. I am not really so used to think about the implementations, so I'll try to talk a little bit about where we stand now with Chess Cairo and a little bit about what are our challenges and our perspective to develop it in the context of Matchbox DAO. The Chess Cairo project was like a personal challenge to explore Cairo. With my friend Green, we to work on it on December last year, and it quickly grow into the full logic of the game, and then some contracts to wrap it up and to be able to interact with the logic, and then we quickly understood that, yeah, like chess is the computational complexity, or it is computational heavy. So we had some problems, yeah, trying to deploy it on the test net and make it work there. So in a way, yeah, Metal is the name. It was talking about the storage as a problem for him, I guess. And we have more of a problem with the computation. Okay, in the on the testnet, but also in the future we sort of understand that chess computationally may be fairly heavy. So right now, one of our challenges is uh, like optimization in a number of ways. Optimization from a pure algorithmic computational point of view, but also trying to understand possible implementations that may make it lighter on the side of the, yeah, Cairo code, and make it cheaper or faster, or, yeah, depends on the implementation. And this, I have to say, I am not very experienced with. So I may, or we may, in the sense that I'm not sure how many will be there or who wants to join. But I personally may need a little bit of help with possible ideas for implementation. I am exploring it right now, but it is not like, yeah, this is from the algorithmics and the purely what is coding the logic and so on. I feel confident it can be done, but yeah, I see there are many possible implementations, and okay, any ideas are welcome there. And actually, we have there is this immortal game uh, that is that recently, yeah, less than a week ago, showed some idea with chess and NFTs. I'm not sure if anybody has seen this, but they want to do some chess with NFTs. So this is an idea, and there are other ideas around. But this is looking into implement the game. Yeah, this is something to explore. Then, from a, yeah, more general point of view, we are also trying to understand what could be some generalizations of the game, some extensions of the game. Uh, for example, we, yeah, are thinking about uh, implementing some what are called variants of chess, which are games that use the same pieces as chess, the same board, but objectives may be different, and the way the pieces move, or yeah, are a little bit different. So this we are taking as a, yeah, model to think about how to extend the game, how to make it, yeah, more general. In the there is this idea of infinite chess or infinite chess-like games that, again, I have some ideas there, but any idea or any discussion is welcome. And well, these are like the two main lines we are thinking of: optimization, on one side, and then the idea of extending the game. And of course, there are some other smaller ideas, like, for example, you were just discussing some front end, uh, the need for some front end libraries, or, yeah, it would be good to have some libraries for the front end, so we can easily implement something to show, you know, about the game, or try some make this proof of concept if we have some ideas about how it may look, some implementation of chess. These are more or less yes, we are working on right now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I've also got like a couple of things to say here. I think you said like optimization is kind of something you want to pursue. I don't know if you've seen it. I've tagged you on Twitter under a post where someone implemented chess on chain, but I think it was on Ethereum mainnet, if I'm not mistaken. And they shared like a lot of tips how they actually pulled it off to put a chess game on chain in terms of optimization and gas optimization stuff. So I don't know if that's completely relevant because obviously you're coding it in Cairo and they did it in Solidity, but I think that could be interesting to take a look at and see like what kind of things they did to optimize it. Um,
Yeah, the first thing I when you say this is, yeah, we may have much more to learn from them than they from us, in the sense that it, I guess it's much harder to do it in Solidity from intuitively. But okay, maybe because they don't have this flexibility on what comes to computation, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that could be very helpful to take a look at.
Yeah,
Like I said,
definitely.
yeah, like I said, I tagged you on Twitter. Just take a look. I'm sure you'll find it. Terence came on stage. Do you have anything relevant to say right now to Cairo Chess?
Yeah, I would love to. First of all, I'm very excited you're working on this. I think like one interesting thing that we could explore is computing, like performing the computation offline, so not on like a StarkNet node. So StarkNet has the ability to like submit a proof directly to the sequencer, or like you today with Cairo, you can run like applications which are executed locally, and then you can submit the Cairo proof. So you just like submit a validity proof that you did the computation necessary to simulate, like, you know, if you have like some kind of agent or like chess algorithm, whatever, you can run it locally and then prove that you ran it properly locally, and then avoid basically all the on-chain computation costs. I know like these ideas are still very
Y-
early, so it's probably a little bit harder to do, but I think that's a interesting
Yeah, I
direction.
guess in Solidity they have to do something like this, and actually this is like one of the ways you can not really optimize the code, but yeah, make it lighter from a computational point of view.
Yeah, I think like you can get to the point, like in theory, where you compute everything locally, and the only thing like the StarkNet like sequencer ends up seeing is like the position changes, and then like the validity proof that you executed like the logic necessary to like land at those position changes. I don't know if that makes sense. At least that's my understanding.
Yeah, I guess depending on what sort of implementation or yeah, I don't know, business logic or whatever you want to implement, you maybe yeah, you have this whole spectrum of things you can do, but yeah, one way would be doing like this, and it would be much lighter from the Cairo point of view.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, either way, I think it's fun to experiment. I just thought that might be an interesting approach to explore today.
Yeah, in general, my idea has been always just because I want to explore it. Like the policy is Cairo first, so but I understand that there is a whole lot to be explored there.
Well, maybe my understanding is incorrect here, but you can still like with Cairo today, with like the Python SDK or whatever, um, you can write a Cairo program that is executed locally, and then the proof of that is submitted. You can like basically generate the proof locally instead of executing a Cairo program in like the shared context of like StarkNet. And the concept around like L3s and stuff like that is basically like, you know, like the fractal scaling or whatever, is like the ability to submit the validity proof from generated some like on some other layer to StarkNet itself to verify instead of doing the computation on StarkNet itself. So in this
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
model,
definitely.
you would still execute, you would still implement everything in Cairo. It would just like where the execution happens would be different, and because it's like the validity of the computation is enforced with the ZK Stark, it doesn't really matter where the computation happens, especially in the game of chess where it's not really like shared context. It's like a 1v1 kind of game.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, awesome, Terence. Thank you for chiming in here. Um, One thing I want to mention still is, Martin, you talked about possibly extending the game in maybe different game modes, like you mentioned Infinite Chess Lite. Something yesterday or 2 days ago, someone mentioned that Cairo Chess could be like DAO versus DAO chess or something like that. I think that could be really fun to have like tournaments where DAOs compete against each other, and it could either be the DAO votes on like a player for the DAO, so it's just 1v1, or you could potentially implement it that different players can kind of queue up the moves of the chess pieces, and then like more people from the whole DAO can compete against each other. And that's just something that I heard it like yesterday or 2 days ago. I don't know who mentioned it, but that sounded really fun and potentially promising.
Yeah, the good thing about chess is that we have like many hundreds of years of and ways of playing it and like collectively or whatever. So there are many models that you can try and use, and if you want to do something like DAO versus DAO or whatever. Actually, for example, it is sort of fun sometimes to play with the machine. Like I think it is called like Centaur chess. Like you can play with your computer assisting you or something like this, and doing some different ways to do it. There are many things to try there, but yeah, would be great if we can do something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You also mentioned like potentially having like some form of modularization where you can have like specific components from Cairo Chess that might be usable in other games. Do you have like anything specific in mind already? What kind of component could be used as like a composable standard or something like that?
I'm not sure. I need to know more about what things are out there, what models exist, what games. I was taking a look at Dark Forest and some other gaming things, but I'm not sure what can be there. Like extending the game of chess in some ways is almost, don't want to say like trivial, but um, it's not so difficult. But what could be fun or how can you use it is, again, I don't have all that much experience. I am trying to understand what can be done. For example, if you check the Cairo library, there is some module that it has the patterns of the pieces. You just change a pattern, which is like changing a number only, and you have a new piece. Like this is fairly simple to do, and how you can use it to extend the game. And I've seen some very cool things out there, but I am still trying to figure out what can be done with chess that works, so to say.
Yeah, I completely understand. Like the challenge right now is really to figure out Cairo and actually build it and make it work, especially with like the computation on StarkNet right now, which is still very limited. So let's hope that that the StarkNet Alpha is going to mature in the coming weeks and months. But I'm sure it will. I'm not worried about that. Um,
But this thing that Tarkan said is worth exploring right now, I guess. Interesting, and I was trying to understand how to do this because somebody shared these ideas with me before, and I think Shalef was also exploring some ideas. I talked with him, though, and other people also. So I think there are some things that can be like try or explored right now, even if starting is not really production level.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth exploring and mastering the challenge. And in terms of front end, we'd be happy to support you. Maybe we can. I don't know if we can bring you into the call on Friday. I think with Amatel, but I'm sure let's just stay in touch and we can try and figure out something in terms of front end for you. And Matchbox is happy to support you, of course.
Thanks.
Right. So thank you, Martin. Thank you, Amatil, for your introductions. Unfortunately, I have to jump right now, but I think Dirkit can maybe carry on the call for us, and maybe he can talk a bit about Solvement and the status there, and potentially dive into like I don't know if we have any other news in like VRF or procedural world generation, but let's see.
Yeah, sure. So puzzle launches or Saltman's going quite well. We've like finished the SN, SNS front end, and we're working on doing an announcement post. I'm like getting the GitHub instructions all set, and we're working on the like final front end. And I think we're targeting like launch uh for Monday the 28th. So pretty excited about that.